2.
Yay! It's gonna be fun today. A little bit more mellow than yesterday.
Yeah, it should be an easier ride than yesterday.
Yeah.
It's as cold as it was yesterday, though.
Yep. It's 23 degrees right now. We are gonna go and get lined up.
We'll do it quickly and get started, and then we'll group back up there at the beginning of the trail. We'll start at Chimney Rock, and then we'll just take some pictures of Chimney Rock. We'll do a brief description right there, and then we'll run across the face of Chimney Rock, across the face of Cedar Mountain over there. There's going to be one obstacle. I'll go through it first, and whoever behind you, wait until I come back to guide you guys through. That's probably our biggest obstacle the whole day that you're going to need some guiding on. And then we get to there, we'll head over to...
So welcome back to part 2 of our San Rafael Swell trip. Today's ride sounds like it's going to be a little bit easier than yesterday. Like I say, we've never been down here, so we don't know anything about it. So if somebody says it's easier, we just assume it's going to be easier. But from this staging area, yesterday's ride was mostly south from here. It was a big kind of figure 8 south of here. Today's ride, we're heading east from the staging point. And the first thing we do is we're heading out on the main roads, and a lot of ground to cover here in the beginning, out across the flats to get to this. It's called Chimney Rock. And Chimney Rock is really kind of the beginning of where the loop starts. Yesterday's ride was 76.5 miles according to Avenza. Today's ride is a little bit shorter. It's 74.5. So pretty close, but today's ride is supposed to be a little easier and a little faster. So one thing I didn't cover in the video yesterday, and I'm going to see if I can show in this video how this works. These guys down here, they call this the drop system. And, maybe a lot of you have heard of it. This is the first time I've ever heard of it. Now, if you've got a lot of ground to cover and you've got a lot of people in your group, I think this drop system works really well. So the way it works is you always have a ride leader. He's always in front. And you always have a tail gunner. Those two positions never change. Now, what happens when you get up, let's say if you are number 2 in line, you are right behind the ride leader, and the ride leader gets to an intersection that he wants to make sure everybody makes the right, the correct turn. He will point where he wants you to park. So you basically pull up your machine and stop, and essentially you block the intersection so that nobody can go the wrong way, and you kind of direct traffic to everyone coming up behind you. All of the machines coming behind you, you're directing traffic the direction that they're supposed to go. And so you sit there. Now when the tail gunner comes up, he gives a big old flash of his light bar to let you know that yes, that is the tail gunner, and then you dive back in line right in front of the tail gunner, and off you go. So the group never really stops. It's always kind of keeping and moving, and everybody, the number 2 is always dropping off and guiding traffic. Your position in line is also constantly rotating. But anyway, like I said, a lot of you may be like, well, yeah, we do this all the time, but this is the first time we'd ever seen it. And yeah, like I said, if you've got a big group and a lot of miles, this worked really well. I hope I explained it right. But anyway, so out here across the flats and this long stretch, we're hauling butt. It's cold as crap. Oh my gosh, it's cold. But making our way up here to Chimney Rock, to where the loop starts for the day. And this is where we had our first mechanical incident of the day. Someone had a flat tire, and luckily the tire wasn't damaged. During the ride yesterday, somebody slashed a sidewall, kind of ruined the tire, and luckily they had a spare. But in this one, it was just a hole. It might even been 2 holes. So we just all stopped, and we were going to regroup right here anyway, because this is kind of where things start to turn into a trail from the road. So we were all going to regroup here anyway. So everybody kind of stood around and watched a couple of guys work repairing this tire, and then we get going again. So remember this part from the beginning of the video at the driver's meeting?
There'll be one obstacle. I'll go through it first. And whoever behind you, wait till I come back to guide you guys through.
Crawl down. And then once your front is down, hug to the left. And he had a hard time turning, so yep. Go.
This is the obstacle he's talking about. And I guess when they pre-wrote this route, this was pretty gnarly, and they were just a little worried about it. And a few vehicles in our group struggled a little bit to get up it, but we didn't really have any trouble. The problem with it was, I mean, the camera again just doesn't do it justice. It's a steep little gully, and you go down pretty steep, and you're at like the 10 o'clock position, but then you got to be able to turn and immediately at the bottom of this narrow gully and go out at like the 1 o'clock position. So it's kind of a hard, 20-degree right turn at the bottom that you got to make, and then come up it, and it has been chewed up by the few that struggle getting up it. But yeah, we all went up it really no problem, at least me and the guys behind me, so not too bad. But from here we're just continuing on kind of the base of these cliffs. A lot of up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. How beautiful is this place? Holy cow. Driving, I mean, everywhere you look up on this little section of trail. Just stunning. Oh my gosh. And today's ride really has been pretty easy, like they said. I mean, we've hit the bottom a few times, we've scraped the belly, we've hit the rockers a few times, but not bad. Not a lot like there was yesterday. So, but what a beautiful place. I'd really like to come back here. I love it here. It's just beautiful. But we continue up on this little section, and I mean, it is what it is, just like this for the next little while. So we just sit back, settle in, and enjoy it.
just pointing out the stovepipe up there. See that? Sticking out up there.
Oh, that little thing?
This is called stovepipe gulch. Yeah, it comes out of the rock. And then goes up. Then you've got some kind of arches up there.
Stovepipe.
So right about in here, we could smell something funny. Something was burning and wasn't coming from us, and it had just started. We could just start smelling it. And this is where we end up with mechanical issue number 2, and thankfully the final mechanical issue of the day. It's kind of an odd thing. Come up and this just smoke coming out of the back of this machine.
You're smoking. Shut your engine off.
What is that, oil?
I don't know what that is. It's coming up from underneath here. Yeah, I'd shut it off. You've got drippage right here. There's something dripping there. You're dripping up there.
Looks like oil to me.
It's all the way up there underneath. It's coming out from underneath here.
Oh man.
Yep, you've got something.
That don't look good.
Shoot.
And thankfully, it was just the oil cap had come off.
Is that your dipstick?
And another big, thankfully, that they found the oil cap down in the belly pan of the machine, didn't lose it, able to just clean it up.
Yeah, that's what's the matter.
One of the
Just
other
the
members in
dipstick came
this
out?
group had a half quart of oil in his machine, and so checked the oil, topped the oil back off, put the oil cap back on, and off we went. So I mean, man, nothing major, but sure a little spooked there for a second. Lunchtime, pull up, cup of squat in the rocks, eat your lunch, BS for a little while, and head on out. There's a few people in the group, some club members that were parting ways and heading back a different direction from here. So our group gets a little bit smaller. But yeah, off we go. Lots more to do. So a couple of observations that we had about the San Rafael Swell. You know, this was our first time ever coming down here. We really didn't know what to expect. We've watched videos on YouTube and things like that. We had an idea, I guess, of what the mountains and the terrain looked like, but that was really about it. To come down here and actually get guided around this area by some locals was really kind of a rare treat. Thank you to Castle Country OHV Association for hosting this ride and dragging us all around. I mean, really, these guys know this area really well, and it was really nice to just sit back and follow the leader and have them stop and tell you about certain things in certain areas and a little bit of the history of the area. And you get a little bit turned around so you don't know which direction you're facing. You'd be like, oh, well, you know, the I-70's right over there. You really can't see it. And things like that. It's always nice to have a local showing you around. But I'd say our biggest thing was a 50-inch machine is not an ideal machine for this area. You know, you got to run what you brung, that's it. And then I think about how I give a bunch of grief to the guys that take their, 70-inch machines to the Paiute Trail. And, they're just like me. They only have one machine too. So if they want to experience the Paiute, they got to take the machine they own. And that's how it was here. If I want to go riding at the Swell, I got to take a 50-inch machine. But now I know that, it's not an ideal place for a 50-inch machine. I mean, everybody else with the wider machines and the bigger tires just had such an easier time than we did. They can angle down obstacles where we had to approach a lot of them just straight on, and sometimes getting straight down an obstacle while immediately coming straight up another can be a little tricky, and it was a lot of work. I mean, we did it, and kind of proud of our little machine for how well it held up. As many times as I hit the bottom, I thought for sure. I still have, knock on wood, the factory skid plates on my machine, and I thought for sure that we were going to break them. I can't believe I didn't break them, to be honest, but they're fine. They're scratched up. I fell on the rockers hard several times. Thought, well, cracked nothing. It really held up really well. Pretty proud of our little Maverick trail for accomplishing what it did. But if I was to come back down here, there are places like the Devil's Racetrack. I don't think I'd ever take the Maverick trail on the Devil's Racetrack again. I did it, and I don't know that I would do it again. It's too much stress, too much. It takes a lot out of you. Just to maybe a few other little places that I probably wouldn't take this machine, but the rest of it was, you'd be fine. But this place is spectacular. It's so beautiful down here, right? And it's everybody knows about Moab. Everybody's heard of Moab, and Moab's just a little east of here. To the west of here is the Fish Lake National Forest, where the Paiute Trail is, and just north of that, directly across the mountain from our RV park is Manti, Utah, and that's up where the Arapine Trail system is. So everybody knows where all that is, but this big area right in the heart of Utah, not a lot of people know about it. So it's kind of nice to come out and experience this stuff without a lot of people. Yet. It's being discovered slowly. There's a lot of people coming out here. We saw a lot of, trucks and SUVs with rooftop tents and stuff like that, doing some camping and stuff out here. So it's the secret's getting out, but we just really had a great time. Thank you so much to this group, and thank you to the ride leaders every day. We really had a great time, and it's sorry that we didn't have a lot of time to walk you around the RV park that we stayed at. That Buckhorn RV resort that we stayed at there in Huntington, that's a really nice RV park, and I think it's probably the most expensive RV spot I have ever paid for. It was expensive. There's no doubt about it. But it's like brand new, I think. If you look it up on Google Maps, it's not even there. It's only maybe a few years old. But they got pickleball, they got horseshoes, they've got cornhole, they've even got batting cages, they've got big shower rooms. It's a really nice place, and I really wish we'd have had some time to show you around. But I imagine in the summer it's just hot as crap, and they planted trees, but it's going to be many years before those trees are big enough to bring any shade. But if you're looking for a place to camp and do the Swell, and you want hookups, that's it. That RV park's fantastic. It really is. And there's gas right there in Huntington. And anyway, we also noticed a lot of dry camping areas on the way. I showed in the beginning the GPS coordinates of our meeting point, and just there's a lot of places right or within about a mile of that there's a lot of dispersed kind of camping. I mean, they're really all over the place, and I didn't take the time to really document any of it, but just know that there's a lot of dry camping opportunities around this area. Yeah, sand and rock, a lot of sand. It's what it was. All of this down here, just sand and rock, and our terabytes are really pretty much wore out at this point, but they still did their job. They held up really well. Yeah, thanks to our neighbors Jim and Tina for coming down and riding with us, and thanks to Tish and Mike for meeting us down there and riding with us. I want to come down here again. Like I say, I don't know. If anything, this has taught us that maybe it's time to step up to a 4-seater side by side. Now, we're not getting rid of the Maverick Trail. No, don't misunderstand. But it might be time to add a 4-seat side by side to the arsenal, possibly. In a year or two. I mean, we've got this dog that's going to go riding with us every day, and it's not easy to put a dog and 2 people in a 2-seat side by side. So it'd be nice to have a back seat for the dog. We have a grandkid now, that little grandson that's going to be old enough one of these years, so he's going to want to go riding with us. We have another grandson on the way. I mean, it all just points to, and then riding in areas like this. And we don't do Moab much anymore. We've done it once or twice with the Maverick Trail, and it's the same thing. It's 50-inch machines are just not the greatest thing. I mean, you do what you got to do, but a nice, wide, comfortable 4-seat, long, obnoxious side by side we would probably do a lot more of this stuff, and a lot more Moab and Kanab and those areas, in southern Utah, if we had a machine that was more equipped and more designed for that sort of thing. So maybe it's time, at least to start to put it on the back burner, or at least think about it. But we are trail people, and so we're never going to be getting rid of the Maverick Trail, never getting rid of the ATV. But that does it for our trip to the San Rafael Swell, and hope you guys enjoyed watching. I hope if you haven't been there, I hope it gave you an idea of what to expect. And for those of you that have been there, I hope we did it justice, and appreciate you guys watching. If you can, just hit the like button if you liked the video. Subscribe to the channel if you have not, and we'll see you in the next ride.